You already know, man, what's going on. It's your boy Rel, aka Dolo, man. You now tuned into the Unsportsmanlike talk show with Rel and Trail. I got my guy over there, Trail, aka Young Jers, man. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you will be notified when we go on live to the Unsportsmanlike talk show. Also, if you are a fan of football and if you like the Philadelphia Eagles, please subscribe to my other YouTube channel, Hype Fan Eagle One, when where we do reporting on the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, another thing, Mondays is the Patreon episodes. You have to be a member in order to get live, uncut, raw video, raw podcast of the hype holla at your boy. So please make sure you go on my Patreon. The link will be in the description after this video to the Patreon, man. So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's going to be viewing this later. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's going to be viewing this right now as we speak. You know what I mean? So let's get started. Let's get popping. What's going on, Young Jers?
What's good, my boy?
Same, man. Yeah. Same
old, man. You already know. We just back at it. Just back at the grinding. You know, we had, like I told you the other on the people that didn't see the Patreon. You know, after Thanksgiving, I had a long week. You know, and long weekend. So I'm kind of a little energized. You know, I worked this morning. You know, so I was pretty good. Started back work. So got to be back up again. But other than that, yo, I'm Gucci. I'm here. So something to be thankful for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Same here, man. I was off today, but the whole time I was off, I was working though, clipping up, doing things. You know what I'm saying? Making sure shit is right for the YouTube, for the Instagram, and all of that. You feel what I'm saying? But nevertheless, or how you say it? Nevertheless or nothingless? Nevertheless. Okay, so I said it right. No, I ain't say it right. But nevertheless, let's get popping. Let's get started, man. We are now actually the NFL is now wrapping up week 13. Week 13 heading into week 14. So we had it was a lot of good games going on. It's a lot of teams right now that's trying to get a playoff spot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of teams fighting to the end to try to get that playoff spot, try to get that wild card spot. So we're gonna kick it off like this, man. We're gonna start off with our very own Philadelphia Eagles, man. The Philadelphia Eagles took on the Baltimore Ravens and they end up winning. What was the end score? 24-19. 24-19, that was the end score. We came into this game underdogs because, as everybody said, man, we haven't played anybody. We've been winning. The Philadelphia Eagles have been winning since the bye week. I think we had a bye week, week 5.
Yeah.
And after the bye week, we really haven't, according to the media and other people out there, we haven't played anybody. We haven't played anybody of that type of caliber of team. I feel like we did versus the Washington Commanders, versus the LA Rams and everything like that. But they said we haven't played anybody. So going into this game, the Philadelphia Eagles were underdogs during this game. What's your takeaways from that game?
First, let me sip on how we did. First, with my little Eagles cup. I had to take a sip on it. Like, man, my takeaways though. It's no more talk. We beat a team that is on the AFC. They are a legit top team. Like, and coming to this game, you hear a lot of people saying about what we might gonna do. A lot of people probably had doubted us to beat the Ravens, and because of everything. Then after we beat them, I see a lot of people you know how it goes, like, the Ravens ain't really that anyway, this and that. So now the narratives want to change, for some, not all, but I see some comments on that, but like we won a game to prove something that we could beat a top team too. Like, I mean, it was already known. I had confidence that we had just based on because of the personnel that we have on the team. So I already know that we have a very, very great chance because of the difference how we look on that defense side. It was mainly I had confidence because I saw the progress on the defense side and what we was doing on these past couple of weeks. Like, so yeah, my takeaways is that Vic Fangio, man, he turned it around with these boys. Like, that a high scoring offense, and they couldn't even put up points. Yeah, I mean, we could say that Justin Tucker is he just having an off game. He's no whatever. But even if he would have made those kick, what it would have been what tied up or whatever. You know, we was marching down the field. We could have had another touchdown. So
yes,
that 19 points that they got was in garbage time. That I just felt like they just wasn't even. They just allowed Lamar Jackson just to run like because the time was wasted and they just got that off of garbage time. Like, oh, we was running down the clock. We could have easily got another touchdown. So that's not saying okay if Justin Tucker would have made those kick or would have did no like even if we would have made it, we still was moving. We still at the fourth quarter. They couldn't stop us. They couldn't stop the run game. They couldn't stop the play that how Kellen Moore was calling a good game, and the Ravens defense they just broke down. You know, they were stopping Saquon Barkley in the beginning, but like I give the coordinators. I want to give props to the coordinators. I'm not gonna be too long, but I want to give the props to the coordinators because they turned around on both sides of the field. I mainly like what I see with Vic Fangio, but what I also like what I see in Kellen Moore is that he's consistent to the identity. Like that was the most key play. Running the ball in the beginning, and Saquon Barkley is not getting nothing. The Ravens is stopping him, but good enough. He was getting a little bit of yardage and a little so, but it was most part stopping him. But to continue that, not to go away from that, you know, we talks about that all the time. And actually see Kellen Moore put that in play to continue that and not go away from that and get Jalen Hurts involved with it too, and to open up some place to AJ Brown, and get Dallas Goedert, the tight end, like to be creative. We did what we supposed to. Check down plays, move the chains, run the ball, stay consistent running the ball on that offensive side. And the defense side, they put that pressure. Jalen Carter, man, like Jalen Carter and though I hear a lot of people talking about Jalen Carter, but let's get some props when it comes to I'm just talking about the defense line. Let's get some props with Jordan Davis. You know, he was getting he them having to double team him opened up a lot of stuff too. You know, so for them two boys on that line, I would say Jalen Carter the most part, but like getting that pressure in, then you got our back end of playing out, man. I'm gonna end it off and say this. Yo, my takeaway is that we showed that we can beat you on both sides. And the defense, I give them more hats off in this game because man, Lamar had some missed passes, and I'm in this with this. He had some missed passes, but don't say that he had some missed passes just because it was him. That pressure that he kept feeling, that him keep getting in, and I back in, holding on, stopping these receivers and everything. That allowed him to allow him to roll out and throwing these passes quick, getting off. He couldn't set his feet, throwing in the back play like he said he should have ran on some of the routes. Yeah, you was thinking too much. Why? Because that pressure. You was should I go through my progression or should I run it? Like, you know, so we had him off his game because of that pressure was in there, and the secondary did their job. So that's my takeaways, and that's why I say we did a good job on both sides.
Yeah, my takeaways from this game is me knowing that the Philadelphia Eagles are that team. You know what I mean? We are that team for real. You know, going into this game, I was a little hesitant. I'm like, oh snap, we're playing the Baltimore Ravens. You know, they are very dynamic on the offensive side. You know, their defense is you know, they leave a lot of things to be desired on their back end, you know, with the secondary and everything. So I was coming into this game on edge, not knowing how could we actually control Lamar Jackson, because besides Jayden Daniels, this is another mobile quarterback that you know that we're facing. We only faced one mobile quarterback, and that was Jayden Daniels. Besides that, there was no other mobile quarterback that we faced during the season. Right. So coming into this game, I was unsure how we was going to actually contain Lamar Jackson, but seeing what we did and seeing how we displayed just pure dominance on the defensive side, our defensive line. Now, listen, I want to put things into perspective is the fact that we are missing Brandon Graham. We're missing Brandon Graham. So that's one piece that I would have thought like, okay, cool. How are we going to fill in his spot? You know, who was going to fill in his role? But they showed me, man. They showed me. I mean, Jalen Carter is a monster, bro. Jalen Carter is a monster. And this the thing, to where as though when the referees don't call double teams, when they don't call, holding penalties on the offensive side, he's getting held damn near every single play. That lets you know that Jalen Carter is a monster. Jordan Davis is getting held damn near every single play. That lets you know that he is a monster. And then you got your pieces like Zach Bond, who was tackling Derrick Henry in the backfield. You got Nakobe Dean, who was stepping up. Isaiah Rodgers, who filled in for Big Play Slay. You know, Reed Blankenship went out, and then we had a safety come in, McCollum. He filled in for Reed Blankenship when he got hurt, and he almost got an interception. You know, I think it was only 3 passes that was thrown Quinyon Mitchell way. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
Cooper DeJean with the big hit on Derrick Henry. You know, our defense is solidified. And let me not say our, because I don't want to sound like I'm biased.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles defense is solidified. What we did offensively is the fact that I got to give the Ravens defense some credit too. They kind of contained us and controlled us too. But we are known for having slow starts during the first quarter. You know what I mean? And then second quarter, we start picking it up. Third quarter, that's when we start doing our thing. So they contained us for the most part during the first half. The second half, it was pretty much our game. You know, it was pretty much our game. I want to say this, and I don't know if you got anything to say, but I want to say this, right? The media out there, and I'm talking about ESPN, your facility, you know what I mean, your Nick Wright, all of those people. They criticize Jalen Hurts for his pass attempts. You know, he only throw the ball 19 times. He don't really average that many passing yards. You know, all of them saying that. My thing is this, right?
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you could run, if you have a good running game, why go away from it? We don't need Jalen Hurts to do the utmost when we could just run a ball out the field. We could run the ball out of the field. Why put your quarterback in predicaments to throw interceptions, to make mistakes when the running game is working? We found our identity. And that's running the ball. So I would rather that than have Jalen Hurts drop back 35 times and throw the game away because he missed the throw here, he missed the throw there. Because the narrative last year, and I'm sorry if I'm long-winded, the narrative last year was why we don't run the ball enough. This year, why are we running the ball too much? And why Jalen Hurts is not throwing the ball like that? What is wrong with Jalen Hurts? There's nothing wrong with Jalen Hurts. That's the game plan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure and we're not going away from the game plan. I'm pretty sure if the game plan was to be stopped by any given team, I'm pretty sure they'll open that playbook and have Jalen Hurts throw the ball to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying? So
you got
it's a narrative out there for Jalen Hurts.
You got an identity. Why go away for it? Stick to it. But I'm gonna say this so we can move on. I made off this. Reason why I solidify the defense on this game, and they've been doing their ball, and I give them the ball for this game. Like the offense did what they did, they complimented with the defense and scored and got enough points to get it. But the defense to me is what takes away this game, and how you could tell the defense. Look at this. I'm gonna read these stats off, and this how you can tell this is the defense. Total yards 252 Eagles, 372 Ravens. They got more yardage. Passing yards 112. Well. That's passing yards and rushing yards with the 252. So I'm not even gonna get into that. Yards per play 5.2 Ravens. We got 4.7. Like first downs, we only got 17. They got 24. I'm not gonna go too much. I'm just gonna end it off. Time of possession. We got 26.09. They got 33.51. So they had the ball more longer. How now they have the categories have more of the stat sheets. But how you could tell it was a defense that our defense was the one that was the what's the word? The difference in this game. our defense was better than their defense, and our defense took over, and their offense didn't matter. Like because if we won the game and we put up points and they got all these stats, that's how you know that the field position was in play. Reason why we got less yardage and they got more yardage and we still won is because we was getting better field position. But that's because of our defense. Our defense was stopping them and they punting the ball, and now we got better position, field position. It was our defense that really put in play because they was getting, they had some 3-and-outs. We had them back. We special team kicking, punting the ball, for positioning well for us. Like, and then after the special team positioning, getting them back up into the safety, our defense, boom, 3-and-outs, get them out of there. Now they kick it to us, field position. So we didn't really need no yardage because our defense helped the offense out, and boom, that's, we start kicking. Not saying that we marched down the field too. I'm not saying every drive was good field position. We had some drives we marched down the field, like I think that was in the second half where we scored with Dallas Goddard. We moved a change in that. We was running it flat, 5 to 6 yard, dumping it off, moving the chains, getting the first downs. So we had some drive that we put on some good. Kellen Moore put on some good plays, but for the most part, our defense gave us good field position because of what they did to Lamar Jackson, and that's how I put the defense for this game. And so that's what it is.
Correct. Yeah, we definitely looking like one of the best teams in the NFC East. We just gotta hopefully, Detroit can actually lose a game or two, towards the end of the season. We could get that number 1 seed, because right now, even though we look dominant, I do want everybody to get healthy during our playoff run. I'm gonna just say that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's get to the next joint. The 49ers versus the Bills, man. The Bills beat the 49ers 35-10. What it seemed like, I honestly, I don't know what's going on with the 49ers right now, but let me finish this real quick. It was inclement weather. It was inclement weather during that game, a very snowy game. The Bills actually dominated on all portions of the game. I'm talking about offense, defense. The Bills look amazing. Josh Allen looked like he is the number 1 candidate for the MVP right now. It was Lamar Jackson at first, but Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, they started losing games. And now it seems like Josh Allen has took that spot from him. What are your takeaways from that game, and what do you think of the 49ers right now?
I just think that they are like they to me they the most inconsistent team when it comes to players' health. That plays a part of your asset of being a player, a good player, is staying healthy. And they lack players staying healthy, and that makes it a really big deal when it comes to them. And then after you have so many injuries and you just can't stay healthy every season, everything, it puts a lot of pressure on the team. It stops a lot of momentum, a lot of your flow, your what's the word, like, how when you win a game, you lead that into the next game. Like, it just stopped a lot of stuff. You in your head, you're trying to figure things out now because you got this person in and that person is out. And it, like, even Purdy came back in this game, but like, it just not the same. No, Christian McCaffrey, he out again, maybe for another season, out for the season this time again. Like, it's just like they just when it comes to their health, and then when it comes to their defense is not the same like it used to be.
It's not the same. It is not the same.
So and to me, that was their biggest thing on them on a winning season, is how well the defense played. It actually gave the offense. Not saying that they don't have a good offense with Purdy doing good, Christian McCaffrey when he was healthy, Deebo Samuel and Ayuk and Kittle. Like, that's a dynamic offense. Not saying that they don't got an offense, but them having a solidified defense actually helped out. Allowed them to have that offense to give them time to get on the road, to get that run game and get everything. Now you inconsistent on your offense side, and your defense is not the same. It's kind of looking like how we was somewhat a little bit last season. Like, when it comes to the chemistry. I won't say so much of the health part, but the chemistry on the offensive side and the defense just went downhill. I would say we was a little bit more worse just because of the coordinators. Just they didn't know what to do. The 49ers still got some coordinators, but they team. It's just not they don't got that chemistry no more. They don't got that set chemistry because all the injuries and everything, and it just hindered them. They broke down, So I would say this to end it off for the game, not just speaking on the 49ers, just the game in whole. The Bills won that game just because the Bills just the better team, and also they control that game with just Josh Allen didn't have to really do so much. That boy, what's his name? What's that
receiver?
boy?
That wide receiver number 13?
For the Bills, the James Cook.
James Cook was wilding.
That boy James Cook could run that ball the Bills. They got a pretty good. The Bills got really a pretty good offensive line. They not top of us, but they up there. So I think that controlled the game too. And Josh Allen didn't. They mainly ran that ball, and Josh Allen should do it when he had to. But it was because of they controlled that ball by running it. They ran it down their throat. They what's the word? They tired that defense down, and and on the Bills defense, they just got after them. So that just was they were just a better team, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. Before I give my take, let me give this disclaimer real quick. Y'all already know, man. So at the first half of this podcast is sports. Second half is all. The first half of this is all sports. Second half is the podcast. So I just want to get a disclaimer. I apologize. I meant to do that in the beginning, but for those who knew, for those who just viewing this, the first half sports, second half podcast. You know what I mean? So I just want to get that disclaimer. But my takeaways from this game is the fact that I want to harp a little bit on the 49ers, right? Because it's not enough, or it's not a lot being said of their epic collapse. Because when we went to the Super Bowl, and then the next year after that, we had that 10-1 season, and then everything collapsed after that. They considered that an epic collapse. You know what I'm saying? When you look at them, they went to the Super Bowl last year, they lost, and look at them now. That is an epic collapse. You know what I'm saying? So they pretty much going through the same thing that we went through. But the thing is, though, that they not looking too good. At least we tried to look good with the 10-1 season. We tried to put a mask on it, and even though we had everybody was new, we were just picking people up, on the defensive side. You know what? Yo, you used to play football. I'm gonna get you. So we was trying to put on a mask. With them, it's like that's a true epic collapse. You got Christian McCaffrey who was dealing with something early on. He didn't come back until like week 9 or something like that. Now he's gone for the rest of the season and potentially for the rest of next season. Christian McCaffrey got so much mileage on his legs, and he had so many injuries in the past. I don't think that he's going to be the same type of running back as he was in the past, bro. I'm not even going to lie.
I feel you on that.
Same thing with Brock Purdy. They deemed Brock Purdy to be this all amazing quarterback, right? That's what he was deemed to be. That's what he was getting all the praises in the world. I don't hear nobody really talking about him like that. I don't hear nobody really scrutinize him like that or talking about his gameplay. He fell off. Deebo Samuels fell off. I don't know what's going on with Deebo Samuels.
He's not dropping a lot of passes now.
Dropping a lot of passes. He fumbling and everything like that. So the 49ers are just a shell of themselves. You know what I mean? They are a shell of themselves. The Buffalo Bills, they look like they look like the best team in the AFC. They beat Kansas City conventionally. They beat Kansas City. I don't know if they played Baltimore yet. I don't know if they played Baltimore yet.
I don't think they played Baltimore yet.
if they didn't play Baltimore, cool. Baltimore don't even matter no more because they fighting for that wild card spot. They're trying to fight for
and they fighting heavy.
Yes, they look like they had at least a playoff spot clinched, but now they dropped all the way until the Steelers are ahead of them. The Steelers like what 9-3, 10-3, or something like that. So
isn't the Chargers in a division too?
The Chargers in a division. I think the Chargers only lost like 3 games or 4 games, something like that.
No, I think the Chargers lost 5. I think the Chargers is 5. So I don't know who's above the Ravens or the Chargers, but Ravens probably edged the Chargers. So the Ravens, I think they in second place. They still good in good position, but but they definitely trying to fight though.
Yeah. They definitely trying to fight, but it's like, yo, the Buffalo Bills have shown pure dominance, and yo, Josh Allen right now, bro, I'm not gonna lie, he is the number 1 candidate for the MVP. Saquon Barkley got something to say about that. If Saquon Barkley end up beating Eric Dickerson, I think he had what, like 2,100 or 2,000 something rushing yard. He got the record for the rushing yards. If Saquon Barkley end up beating that, you got to crown him the MVP. But for right now, Josh Allen by far is the number 1 quarterback right now in the NFL that is playing at a high level. All
right, let me make it correct. That's correct. This Chargers not in a division. That's I was wrong. It's the Steelers.
Chargers in the AFC, but it's not in. They not in a division.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. In a division, like it's Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and Browns. So yeah, the Ravens, because the Bengals and the Browns ain't doing nothing. So the Ravens, they definitely they still got a chance. But I know what you're talking about. They sitting at 8-5, so they definitely still trying to make sure they get that wipe.
Definitely got a chance, but it was at one point where it looked like they could possibly either get the number 1 seed or clinch a playoff spot, but that's not the case. The Ravens are inconsistent. 1 minute they up, 1 minute they down, so you don't know what you're getting from the Ravens. The Buffalo Bills in this matter, the Buffalo Bills look dominant on a defense. Their offense is a well-oiled machine. A lot of people thought that since losing Stephon Diggs, they wasn't going to be that. But Josh Allen is showing the fact that, like, just like Patrick Mahomes, I may not have a number 1 wide receiver, but I'm definitely going to spread this ball out to whoever is on my team. And that's why you got to give him the credit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Buffalo Bills, man. At the end of the day, listen, Jalen Hurts is 1-0 against the Buffalo Bills. We beat them last year. So that's all I got to say.
Clutch play too.
That's all I got to say about that, man. Let's get into some other news real quick before we move forward. And before we get into the podcast portion of this show. The Jaguars actually they lost. The Jaguars lost. Hold on, let me pull this up. The Jaguars lost to the Texans 23-20. And that game was pretty much it was overshadowed by what happened. Trevor Lawrence went to go run the ball, and when he went to go run the ball, the linebacker Shazier or Al Shazier, however you pronounce his name, so don't quote me on his name. He actually ended up hitting Trevor Lawrence, which caused Trevor Lawrence to get caused Trevor Lawrence to get a concussion. Next thing you know, all out brawl happened. You know what I mean? And the results of him hitting Trevor Lawrence resulted into like a 3-game suspension for the linebacker for the Houston Texans. It wasn't a good game. The storyline was not about the game. The storyline was, do you think he deserved that type of punishment by hitting the quarterback? Now, let me give you some context in that. Hold on. Let me give you some context. He hit Caleb Williams like that. I believe he hit a run. So this is not the first time that he did that. He on record for this season, he done that like 3 or 4 times. So it was like, okay, cool. You need a pow now. Now, a lot of people are defending it, basically saying that, listen, it's a football play. You don't know if the quarterback is truly sliding or not, and on top of that, you can't stop your momentum of going forward. So if you're going forward before the quarterback slide, you're going to hit him. You know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that? What's your takeaways? And then we just going to wrap this whole NFL thing up and go straight to the pod.
I would say that I didn't necessarily like the hit. I get what a lot of people start saying. It's hard when the quarterback running and you're trying to see, because some quarterbacks doesn't slide, some quarterbacks try to stay up and get yardage. And and I understand these linebackers want to like hit them to make them rethink of like running that ball again. That's NFL, that's a part of the sport. But
Yeah, correct.
but for so many years, you know this what happens. That they cut down on being real strict when it comes to that. Just the fact that sometimes when the quarterback slides and you going for because quarterbacks is really the only player that slides. Because they ain't trying to get hurt. They position is viable. So a quarterback position is the only position that's going to slide. So 9 out of 10, if a quarterback is sliding and you're leading and you're trying to go for this, you're trying to tackle him and you're trying to go for his legs, or you're trying to tackle him low to try to get him on him. 9 out of 10, you're gonna get helmet to helmet. Because if he's sliding and you sacking and you trying to tackle low, you're going to hit him in the helmet and you're going to intentionally cause a damage that's going to problem. So that's why you see a lot of linebackers, they intentionally don't try to go low on a quarterback when you're running. Just the fact, because 9 out of 10, they know that's what a quarterback not is going to actually do, is slide. They will either wrap up, tackle, wrap up high, grab him, boom, put him down. He went too low. Like I'm not saying they don't go low a little bit when they tackle the quarterback, but when I saw that tackle, it didn't look right, because it looked like he went real low, and it wasn't like he tried to wrap with his legs to go low to wrap him with his leg. It was one of those
tried to destroy him.
one of them going low to the head, boom type of play. So I'm not saying he did it on purpose. I'm not saying, I'm not gonna go over say, that's a dirty hit. I'm not gonna say that, because maybe he just was trying to get his legs hard and hit. Maybe that's what he said. That I don't know. But what I'm saying is, regardless of it wasn't a dirty hit, regardless if he didn't mean to do it, I still don't like the decision. Because for the reason, that's how you can instantly take out somebody, because quarterbacks is the only players that slide, and you're leading with your head and you're going too fast. And he started off like early with it too. He ran full speed, and he was like, so I don't like that decision. I know it's hard, because a lot of times you're trying to make sure the quarterback, if he's gonna stay up and getting yardage. But for a linebacker, you gotta know where you at. You gotta know these games, and you gotta, intentionally you can't, now you got a suspension and you're missing games because of the situation. It's acceptable. Why? Because he hit him. That's a part of the rules. Trevor Lawrence slid. You led with your head and you hit him. And the way how it was just too serious. It was like so. I felt like it's to teach him a lesson. No, like yo, next time don't go that route. So I agree with it.
Yeah. I agree with it too. My thing is this, right? Like when it comes to quarterbacks and when it comes to you playing defense, you have to know that, everybody is on limits. The quarterback is off limits. So you as a defender, you got to kind of take care of the opposing team quarterback in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to tackle him, but you got to know that you really can't go hard on him like you could go hard on a running back, a wide receiver, a fullback, a lineman. So you got to kind of pull up. If you see a quarterback running, the most you should be doing is just try to regular tackle him. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, I feel like you should not be going in full force. You know what I mean? If this was your first
hug tackle.
Yeah, yes. Yep. What you call that again? Fundamental tackling when it comes to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Damn, what was my train of thought again? Oh shit, I just lost it. Fundamental. Yeah, not cool. Fundamental tackling when it comes to the quarterback. I can see if it was your first offense, you know what I'm saying? Then I will vouch for it, like, yo, nah, like, it's his first offense. He don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody around the league or everybody in the media would have agreed with, that was too much of a punishment. 3-game punishment. So that means that you losing one of your best linebackers on that team. And what happens if they don't get into the playoffs? You know what I mean? Because they got a playoff spot. This is the thing where I can understand the suspension is because, for number one, this is not your first offense. You done did this like 4 or 5 times this year alone. You know what I mean? And all of them just was highlights. All of them hits was highlights. You already did this 4 or 5 times. And then on top of that, what if this was the playoffs and you did that? Now you cost your team an advancement to move forward into the playoffs. So you have to start controlling yourself on a football field. You got to play controlled football, bro. You cannot play under control. I feel like he knew what he was doing. I feel like he knew what he was getting himself into. He had a full head of steam when he saw Trevor Lawrence, and that's just the results of what happened. A 3-game suspension for the linebacker on the Houston Texans. Like I said, it wasn't really about the game. The game wasn't, the game wasn't all that cracked up to be. It was more so that the hit made headlines way more than the game made headlines, and you don't want that. You don't want that type of publicity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, he tried to tackle him like he was Derrick Henry, like he had to go for his legs. Like it's Trevor Lawrence you talking about, man. Like
it's Trevor Lawrence.
Like you should have known. Like all you had to do is just wrap up bare tackle or wrap up. You don't gotta worry about Trevor Lawrence sticking the move and all that, man. Like it's Trevor Lawrence. Like so. He's not big body like that you gotta go for his legs and nothing, like. So I just felt like that hit was, I didn't like it, so I ended off on that.
Okay, man, let's get into the rest of the NFL right now. Let me read y'all these scores. The Lions beat the Bears. I believe that was on Thanksgiving, so we already went through all that stuff already. So let's start by Sunday. The Chargers beat the Falcons. The Falcons looking like real frauds right now. Because of Kirk Cousins. The Chargers beat the Falcons 17-13. The Steelers beat the Bengals, which we went through already, 44. Actually, I don't even think we went through that. Okay, cool. The Steelers beat the Bengals 44-38. The Cardinals the Cardinals lost to the Vikings 23-22, which was a close game. The Colts beat the Patriots 25-24, which was a close game. Shout out to Anthony Richardson. The Seahawks beat the Jets 26-21. Aaron Rodgers definitely need to hang it up. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
The Commanders beat the Titans 42-19. Who is the Titans? We don't care. I don't really care about the Commanders because they are in our division, and that's just, you don't get no kudos for beating a team like that. We already went through the Texans beating the Jaguars 23-20. The Rams beat the Saints 21-14. The Buccaneers beat the Panthers, which went into overtime. I think it was double OT. They beat them 26-23. That was a very exciting game. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Ravens. What should have been 24-12, but they got a garbage time touchdown and it was 6 seconds left. You know what I'm saying? So defense was pretty much playing soft coverage defense or whatever. So, but either way, 24-19, and the Buffalo Bills beat the 49ers 35-10. And the Broncos beat the Browns Monday Night Football 41-32, man. That was a pretty much epic game. Of course, we was on live when we saw that game. Actually, we was on the video, not live when we saw that game. But looking at the recap and looking at everybody talking about it, that was pretty much an epic game. You know what I mean? So let's get